talks among yourselves while I fix it. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be back at Santa Cruz. I was at the Walnut Cafe earlier, went to the boardwalk, all the old places we used to go. It was fun. Okay, so I'm just gonna take you on a brief little journey during my time here. Starts with me driving up the windy 17 in a rented van with my mom, and I'm a big city girl, LA, so buildings starting to disappear, smog starting to disappear, and big trees starting to appear, and beware of deer crossing signs starting to appear. And then I pull up to Oaks, thank you, and I see beware of mountain lion signs. And I turned to my mom and I said, what did I get myself into? I don't know about this. But as I pulled up to Oaks and the scene was vibrant, there were student organizations, and the provost at the time, David Anthony, was out, and some loud man talking about ATAD and, and rainbows and things as such was smiling and introducing himself to everybody. So I got my keys, met my roommate, said goodbye to our teary moms who were now moving into empty nest, leaving their babies alone. And by the time the week was over, it seemed like we got a knock on the door from, it seemed like all black men on campus were at our door. It was BMA making their rounds, saying hi to all the freshmen. But Keith Curry and Burhan were the co-chairs at the time, and they invited me to a speak-in at Kresge. So, of course, me and my roommate Tina at the time were all gung-ho for jumping in freshman year and getting involved. And when I walked in, the women's theater troupe was doing a piece. Jeremy Bautista was doing a spoken word piece, and he's always amazing. And I looked around and I was like, this is like straight off of a different world. This is amazing. I could get used to this. They were talking of injustice and the climate and student affairs, retention center programs that needed to be here. Students of color were dropping out and not feeling comfortable. And I got a little taste of that my first week in my first big lecture hall. When I walked in, it was over 200 some students, and I saw maybe 2 other people who looked like me. And I was like, oh, okay. Then we get to, those topics surrounding your particular culture, and the whole room turned to me and the 2 other people that looked like me, like I was the ambassador for my race. It's like, no, actually, I don't know that answer, sorry. But it's things like that the student organizations help us to feel comfortable about. We have inspiring events, social gatherings, campus awareness, and much more. And when I saw a girl in her ethnic garb, I think it was my freshman year, get chased around campus after the September 11th type of thing, and the university wasn't saying anything about it, and all the student organizations were like, okay, are we gonna say that this is not right, and as a university, what are we gonna say about it? But it was ESOC and SUA who got all the student organizations together with the chancellor and administration, and we had a big speak out about what is the university gonna say of what is right and what we will not accept. And the organizations do something about these things. I was a member of APSA, co-chair of BSU, I was in Halloween Dance Troupe for 2 years at PCC, Rainbow Theater, American Theater Arts Troupe, Destination Higher Education, Chancellor's Undergraduate Intern Program. And these are all organizations that do things, action-oriented groups that deserve about 98%, in my opinion, acknowledgement for many of the cases of student-wide retention and 4-year graduation rates. Yes, the student organizations are responsible for that. So I say to the current student leaders, I say don't give up. I know it is probably just as difficult as it was back when I was here, getting everyone involved with the planning process of things. You might be feeling like it's just you or 2 other people doing all the work for the entire organization at sometimes. because that's not all the time, but everyone shows up for the end product, but everyone's ghost for the late meetings and turning in applications and room reservations and sending out flyers and filling out paperwork and planning the actual event and invitations and setup and clean up, and the list goes on and on and on. But I say to that, strengthen your delegation skills. If someone is in a business or marketing or art major, have them be on a media outreach committee and have them take over all that stuff. And give other people a chance to take over meetings. Don't just let it be the co-chairs of the meetings doing all of the doing the meeting, because it helps the undergraduates learn agending planning and facilitation. And then when the seniors leave, you don't have to start all over from scratch because you've been training the undergrad people with you, right? Make SOAR and ESOC your staff and your friends, and take advantage of all the opportunities that they have to offer. I was able to go on the junior year abroad program. I think now you can go any year, I heard, the EAP program. But take advantage of things like that. Do continue to involve alumni like you have tonight. Not only tonight in Banana Slug Fair, but throughout the year. Even there might be alumni who might have summer internships that you can do, so you already get your foot in whatever major it is that you're going to do when you graduate. Like I met Adela Barnes at a Banana Slug Fair. Dawn told me she was an actress. I was like, hey, how are you doing? And that summer, I was working with her Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival that she created. And I've been in contact with her ever since with Black Escargot and some other things. And to the current students, I say do be an active member in your student organizations. College is what you make it, and we all know that Santa Cruz is such a special place and such a unique place. Don't wait till you leave to realize how special this experience can be. It will make your college experience well-rounded, and get outside of your cultural communities as well and find out what's going on in the climate of the whole UCSC community as a whole, and that helps the student organizations as well when everyone's involved. And I say to faculty and staff and administration, please don't allow votes to take away funding for all that the student organizations do. Because these are not party groups. These student organizations are instrumental necessities for the retention of the students on campus. My freshman year, we had a Measure C on the ballot, and it was for a retention center. And I'm saying, MECHA, APISA, FSA, APSA, all these organizations got together one night, Keith Curry leading, and we caravanned college to college. There was a Measure C door hanger on every single dorm, every single apartment, family student housing, until the entire campus was filled with Measure C flyers. And although it didn't pass that year, I hear there are some retention programs on campus now. So you don't know what your little seed will blossom into later. So everything that you do is important and is relevant. And there's Destination Higher Education to students, bringing up admitted students. They get to meet financial advisors. They get to see a little snapshot life of what college life is like. And my year and the year before and the year after, a lot of those students did end up going to UCSC. So I would also say that student organizations are responsible for recruiting as well. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be getting the funding that we need to keep the climate on campus a positive environment, where we had a Take Back the Night on the Oak Stairs, where women who were raped got up and told their testimonies, and BSU sang, and we all held our candles and walked through Oaks, kind of taking back our space and saying that we're not afraid to be women on this campus, and we're gonna stick together to do that. That was student organizing. There was things like a show called Before It Hits Home that ATAC did, that dealt with homosexuality, and that dealt with AIDS, and that dealt with infidelity. And we go out into Loudon Nelson, we did it on the second stage, we go out into the greater Bay Area, as Don always does. And that year, students got tested more for STDs and for AIDS, just from the play. So that's another impact that student organizations have. And what else can I share with you? So they're not just events that the university puts on to maintain the sanity in the minds of students. These are student organizations fulfilling the need of safety, fulfilling the need of security, fulfilling the need of acceptance, fulfilling the need of brotherhood and sisterhood, the need of being able to be the lead in a play where you might not be able to be the lead in the play and theater arts department if you know what I'm talking about. So that is what, and having classes by Angela Davis and Bettina and all these great women. They just had Angela Bassett and All Political Prisoners documentary out, and I was like, those are my teachers on the screen here that taught us to take our voice. And I took that into stage, into life, and into my activism. So after UCSC, I went on to get my master's in fine arts from the Actors Studio Drama School in New York. And I am also a project ambassador at ADA, American Diabetes Association, for Call to Congress. And it was wonderful. Like, people from all across the states lobbying on the Hill to get more funding for prevention and programs that help with finding the cure for diabetes. I myself am type 1 diabetic. I was diagnosed my freshman year here. So that's a cause dear to me, and I'm also involved with the JDRF, which just deals with type 1. But even that, getting involved with that was from my skills here, because all I did, I looked up online, contacted executive director, and was like, yes, so this is who I am, and I need to meet with you. I met with their whole board, and from then on, I recorded a song with them. I did a PSA commercial from them, but that was for me taking initiative. They weren't finding out, who I was. I was going out and making those things happen. And so I just want to close, because I see the red flag coming up. I dug deep in my little vault of UCSC things. Was my ESOC partner, and we would do our different poems that we did off of some racial stuff that was going on at the time. So I'm just going to close with that. Okay. I remember the first time that I realized that being black was seen as being different. I'm not talking about my nappy roots black, my big lips and big hips kind of black, my got the Holy Ghost, eyes rolling, hand clapping, eating collard greens and mac and cheese kind of black. No, I'm talking about a different feeling. A disconnected feeling from others that don't look like me. My race, my ethnicity, my check this box if you're this kind of me. I'm talking about my unpopular complexion me, trying to ignore preconceived perceptions of what I'm supposed to be. How many times do I have to chant, black is beautiful, black is beautiful, black is beautiful, just to love me, myself, and I. I have learned that my place in society is the very element that contributes to my daily struggle for my spirit to survive. I'm trying to unlearn that feeling of inferiority as a so-called minority of any given circumstance. I'm trying to overstand this black self as a socially constructed friction and create my own her story composition. I've got the skin with the tan that's grand, not from sunning in the sand, but from the motherland. New age, dark maids, and exotic characters, bulge eyes staring at me in the idiot box saying, yes, massa. But forget all that, because I'll be your Nefertiti, but not your Aunt Jemima. Sometimes I feel like I'm on the brink of insanity, but my present mind continually organizes my past mind, and I slow dance for a while and realize that everything will be fine with just a little time. I will not bow down to Ebony.
Racism.
I will not bow down to my
Injustice.
I will not bow down to
Exploitation.
I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. Thank you.